YouTube. I just wanted to do a short video this week. I was not able to complete the project for my planned video, which is the Sokka costume, but that will be coming. Instead, I actually ended up working on an entirely different project and I wanted to share it with you. So first I had to think of a design and how I wanted it to look. So I sketched this out and that's the basic look of it. So it will have a flap in the back, it does have a zipper on the larger flap, and then these darker lines on the sleeve seams are also zippers. I had hoped to make slippers and my attempt at making slippers was much less than successful, so we're gonna just ignore that part. So then I had to figure out what pieces were here. That's when I started the chaos over on this side. So I knew that I needed sleeves, so I needed two sleeves. So I drew those, and then the front of it I needed to be this general shape. The back, two pieces like that, and that's just for the bodice part. This was for the slippers and I was gonna add pockets and I didn't end up doing that part up there, so you can ignore those. And then for the skirt part, I knew I just wanted to do rectangles with pleats. But the back isn't rectangular, so I measured my belly and figured out how wide it needs to be, and I measured just under my bust and figured out what that needed to be in the discrepancy there, and figured what would be a good amount to pleat. So I ended up doing a front panel that was 25 inches across and 30 inches long, and then for the back panels I did one that was almost the same, but I cut out this little triangle, which is a 5 by 10 inch right angle right triangle. Yeah, I know my shapes. And then the last piece also followed 20 or 30 inches down and 20 across, and then it's the dotted line here, just where that connects to 5 inches. So that was what I came up with for the 3 skirt pieces. I did draw them all in one spot because I felt like I didn't need to use more paper. I did most of it in one night. I was able to connect all the skirt pieces together and then the bodice pieces together, and then the next day, after I got home from school, I'm a teacher, I just sewed the top to the bottom and fixed up the unfinished ends and sewed on some buttons. So yeah, I'm really proud of it and I'll show it to you now. So to help me show it to you, I've got trusty Fredwina here, and she likes to help me with all my costume videos, and today, not a costume video, but an actual clothing video. There we go. Right now I have her set a little taller than me because I was working on a costume for my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law is taller than me. So yeah, the only problem is this hospital gown is for maternity. Fredwina doesn't really have a belly. So alright, she's got a bit of a lumpy baby. It seems to have dropped, but that's okay because she's going to the hospital now. Let's get her hospital gown. So this is the hospital gown, and I figured this was like my one chance to pick a print that I could just be silly with and enjoy, and no one's gonna judge me for it because I'm giving birth in this thing. So yeah, I picked a busy pink and purple bird and butterfly kind of print, and I am in love with this print. But I'm all about whimsical. So I'm gonna put it on her. It's always harder to get clothing onto a dress form than onto a person because dress forms aren't actually squishy like real humans. Here's that part, and I'm gonna back up the camera just a little bit here so you can see the whole thing. So I've got kind of this scoop neck going on, and the reason for that is that I did not want to have this coming all the way back and connecting to the actual back part there. So the front part of the bodice and the back part of the bodice aren't actually connected except by the sleeve and the zipper. Let's do this in order. Go to the hospital, change into this, and eventually get to the point where you need the epidural. Got the zipper in the back, boom. Epidural, easy access, and so easy coverage again. Secondly, when you're giving birth, you don't want to have to bunch a skirt up, I'm guessing, and you don't want to have to be laying on it. So, and this is why we're demonstrating on Fredwina. Unbutton that, and one more button right here. Boom. Easy access, skirts out of the way. Nothing's gonna go wrong there. But then you finish doing that part and just button it back up, and you're covered again. And unlike the papery or the cheap hospital gowns that are actually at the hospital, moving around is not going to expose anything in the buttocks area. Alright, the next part I'm really proud of. I was saying before, front's not connected to the back, and that is because I have used zippers on the side seams of the bodice, starting at the top of the sleeve all the way down to this high waist, so that it is easily accessible for skin to skin and breastfeeding. And the sleeve actually stays on really well when there's actually an arm in it, and so I could do one side or the other side or both sides, and it just folds down like that. But then as soon as I want to be covered back up again, I just flip it back up and zip it. And I'm covered again, which I think is fantastic. I did add a nice big pocket. I picked a big pocket because I have a phone with an OtterBox around it because I am clumsy, so I need an OtterBox. So things don't fit in small pockets for me, especially not my phone. But yeah, I should be able to hold whatever I need in this pocket. And that's the hospital gown that I made. I'm really proud of it since I did come up with the design myself. The sleeves are a bit poofier than I had hoped, but I am still learning how to measure for sleeves. And I think when I tried it on, I did feel kind of powerful with like the big poofy sleeves, and I'm like, you know, when a woman needs to feel powerful, when she's at her most vulnerable giving birth in the hospital, probably. So yeah, I've decided not to fix the poofy sleeves. I added these little pleats in the front, and that's how I gathered the skirt instead of doing like an actual gather. I'm really proud of these pleats because they're just so uniform and perfect, and they are centered, and I like it. Yeah, so that's the hospital gown I made. I have my hospital bags here. The other thing is I created some little scrunchies out of the same fabric so that I can pull my hair to the sides, because when you're laying on your back, no one likes a ponytail, and I love my hair in pigtails. So I made scrunchies for pigtails, and funny thing is I was out of elastic and I didn't want to go buy elastic, But I have a stash of socks that have no matches, and so I took the tops of some tube socks that had no matches any longer, and I used those to make the stretchy part on the inside of the scrunchies, and it works really well, surprisingly. So yeah, recycled materials, use scrap. I have thought about making a face mask in the same fabric. I did mention I tried to make slippers and that was not successful at all. But yeah, I'm gonna put the scrunchies in the pocket for now, and I'm gonna put these things back in my hospital bag. Yeah, I do have my hospital bag packed in a backpack and baby's hospital bag packed in the diaper bag that goes with my Duna. I know a lot of people say that having a like mail carrier style side one strap hospital or a diaper bag is weird nowadays because everyone has the backpack, but I'll barely ever carry this because it clips right on the front of my Duna stroller car seat. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. For baby, I packed 3 outfits and some hygiene stuff and the car seat cover. Yeah, that's about it for baby. And then for me, packed some pajama pants and an outfit to go home in. I have that bag right there. The stripy one is my makeup bag. I don't wear makeup too often, but it does help me feel a little more put together. And I think after going through all of that, I'll want to feel a little put together. And then I have a comfort item in there. I'll show you. This is a teddy bear I've had since the day I was born. And I mean, I know I'm a grown woman, but holding this when I'm really stressed or scared or in pain is really comforting to me. So this will be coming to the hospital with me. Yeah, and that's it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want kind of a copy of the pattern for yourself, let me know in the comments and we'll get in contact, I guess. I'd be happy to share that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. One last thing I forgot to add to this video was talking about why I did this and how much it cost. So I've seen the hospital gowns that you can buy online and they're like 50 to 80 bucks. And I mean, the hospital obviously is going to provide you with one, but a lot of those were saying it's nice to have something that's yours, something that is just like familiar to you, and I thought that was a really good point. But I wasn't going to dish out that much money for something that I could make. I spent around $10 on the fabric and less than $5 on the zippers, and that was the entire cost. I already had thread. So it cost me less than $15 to make. And yeah, I just got everything at Walmart because that's like the one store in my town that has craft supplies now, that our other craft store got bought out by Michael's and then they decided not to build anything. And it is made out of flannel fabric. Anyways, I just thought I would add that.